Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's session of Let's Talk. I am your host, Mike No, wait, I'm not Mike. Who am I? Well, some of you have seen me here before a couple of times. My name is Ver, and I will be your host today. Don't worry, Mike is okay. He's coming back. I'm just filling in for him. But meanwhile, today's a very special day, a very special topic with very special guests. Today's topic is hobbies. And, hobbies are not just random activities. They help you kill boredom, release your creativity, express what's on your mind. And you can also join a community through these hobbies. And to talk a little bit more about this, we have two very special guests that have been here before. But before we get to that, please make sure to leave some comments down there. Welcome everyone, Interlingua users, our common viewers. And let's dive in. First, returning, we have our very own Renaissance woman, artist, and polyglot, Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Fer. How are you doing?
Great. How about you?
Everything cool over here, thanks.
That's really good. And tell us, Karen, just a quick review. Maybe some people saw you last time, maybe they don't. That's why. What are your main hobbies? What fills your life with joy?
Well, that's a tricky one, actually. Nowadays, I've been working pretty much all of the time. But I still have a little bit of time to do a couple of things. And those are, for example, writing things. Writing is a really nice hobby that I like, or reading also.
Okay, reading. I love that. We'll talk about that later a bit more. But first, let's welcome our second guest. She is a plant mom and a Mexican culture enthusiast. Please welcome Maripaz.
Hey, hello. Hi, everyone. Fine, thank you.
Good. So, same thing. You have been here before, but let's hear a little bit more about your current hobbies again. What do you do?
Lately I've been into lino printing a lot. That is what I've been doing. And now I am also creating sculptures with a new material with plant foam. And it's very interesting and challenging, but that is what I love, to discover new things and to do what I love and find out more every time.
Okay, thank you very much. So, well, it's a ladies' night. We're all girls today. Don't worry, viewers, if you're not a girl, you're also welcome to be here. Because this is a topic that concerns everyone. Everyone might have a hobby. Everyone might need a hobby. And that's my first question for you. How do you feel, or how do you envision your life without your hobbies?
Okay. To be honest, I don't think I have ever had like a time where I didn't have a hobby. I've had at least one. And I think they are like quite important, Well, we don't have like anything else to do besides working or going to school. I think it's like a very boring life. So having a life without anything else to do or without like learning something new, I think it's not only boring, but I think it's also, it's like not challenging. So personally, I think it's necessary to at least have one extra activity or something that you are interested in and relax a little bit. I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And for example, you said lately you've been working a lot and maybe you don't have a lot of time to enjoy all these different activities, but how do you balance that, or how do you find those 5 minutes to really dive into, in your case, your writing, your reading?
Well, I usually do it before going to bed. Like I check a little bit. I read my book one day and then I write a little bit. So it's like I balance both of them during the week. And I'm currently learning Italian. So I do that on Sundays because it's the only day I'm free. So I take my classes and I do my homework whenever I have like a little bit of time. So it's kind of challenging, but I really enjoy doing it. So even if it's hard and even if I don't sleep a lot sometimes, I always give time to myself, like, to try something new or to give myself some peace with reading or writing or learning a new language, for example.
That's funny because sleeping is my favorite hobby, so I can relate. But, well, thank you very much for your insight on this. And do you have any book recommendations? What are you reading right now?
Oh, well, I'm reading my favorite book again because I really love it so much. And it's called, well, I don't know if you have seen the movie, probably yes, The Illusionist. Have you seen the movie? Well, there is a book version of that one, and it's really good. So if you ever want to watch it or watch the movie or read the book, it's really good.
I will. Thank you very much. Now, Maripaz, same thing. How do you picture your life without hobbies? Because you have many, many, many different hobbies.
Oh, it would be pretty sad, I think. I think hobbies are about passion. You have to find something you love. When people ask me, hey, how can I exercise or how can I try something new? How can I get creative? Okay. I usually tell them, well, you have to find something you like or it will feel like a chore. And I think it's about inspiring people as well. Because I remember when I was young and my arts teacher inspires me and told me to try new things. And hey, there's this contest. You should make a piñata. I was not going to do anything. I had a lot of things going on in my life, and so I was not thinking about piñatas. But I remember this is a person that I will remember for the rest of my life because I feel part of life is that you have to inspire others to find their path. And I think hobbies are about passion. Of course, if you can make something you love and work and earn money by doing that, that's also great.
Okay. Yeah, inspiring. I have never thought of hobbies as inspiring. But I mean, gladly this person who told you about this little piñata contest led you to an interest in cardboard art, right?
Yes. And it came back to my life. I feel everything eventually comes back and makes sense. And that was how I started getting into sculpture. Like I made this little thing that I love. And all the others I have swapped or I have sold, but I keep this because this was my first one. So it's like,
I mean, for a first one, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
And I remember you mentioned that with cardboard art, you can also make jewelry, right?
Yes, I made some smaller pieces for Day of the Dead, and people were into it, so I guess I will be making them again next year.
Okay. I'm looking forward to see what you have to show. And you mentioned something very important. Because there are some hobbies that are very creative and you can create things like pieces. And you said like sometimes I sell my things, some things I keep. But the two of you, how do you feel about monetizing your hobbies? Be it, I don't know, writing, be it creating art, be it making TikToks. Maybe you like making TikToks for a hobby. How do you feel about making money with your hobbies?
I feel it is something valid if you have the time to do it, to actually pursue a career in selling your things. And there are a lot of platforms out there. Like you can use Amazon Handmade, you can use Etsy. I've never done it. I usually go to fairs or I sell them to my friends, and they usually love them. Now, I feel that many things we do as a hobby, we again are so involved that we start teaching them for free. And that is how I learned a lot of hobbies. Like I didn't know how to do macrame very well. I was like, I was a beginner, a complete beginner. And a lot of people show you how to do it on Pinterest or on YouTube, and they are not charging you for that knowledge. But you can also make money out of it if you want.
I love Pinterest, but I'm like the meme, like expectation and reality. Whenever I try to do something that is in Pinterest, same thing. That happens to me a lot. What about you, Karen? How do you feel about monetizing basically your free time?
That's a tricky question. It's really hard. Maripaz is what I'm struggling with, because it's actually something that you enjoy doing and something that you usually have like a side. It's like not your main activity, as Mari was saying, but actually it's something that you enjoy so much that sometimes you don't even think about charging for it. And to be honest, it's really hard. I mean, I also like painting, and lately, I have a business with my sister. We both love K-pop, and we are like pursuing, a little business of our own. But that was like with the settling in mind of a business, Like she's also very, like she can do many things. And from the beginning, she was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but it's because I'm going to sell it. So that was different. It wasn't like a hobby. It's like an extra job, And for example, in that case, when she told me like, hey, you could paint something, I was like, maybe. I'm not so sure, because I like painting, but I usually do it for fun. I don't do it like to sell it. But she convinced me on doing it, and I kind of like it, but sometimes it stresses me and I feel like I cannot enjoy it so much. So personally, I don't like it much to sell what I do for a hobby. I usually prefer to do it just as something to distract myself, but I'm not saying that it's wrong. I mean, it's good. If you can do it, and as Mari was saying too, you can give the time to charge for it and to actually like gain money from it, it's nice. But usually I think when you have a hobby, it's something that you just enjoy doing, and that's it.
I feel what Karen was saying is very true. I think at the beginning we get caught up in this imposter syndrome, where you're like, well, I am not a painter. I didn't study for years and years to become a painter. I am no Salvador Dali, but you have to just do it and see what happens. I think we have to also try and see what comes out of it. And I think many times people will tell you, hey, I love what you're doing, because we create something unique, and they're like, oh, I love your vision. And then you will gain more confidence, like, I will do what I love and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Man, imposter syndrome is the worst thing, but once you overcome it, once you go past it, you can dominate the world completely. And now, girls, last time we saw you here in the Let's Talk show together, talking about hobbies, was July last year, so a long time ago. Any new things you add to your hobby list, or maybe something you left and you came back for?
I've been improving because I used to be, this very hyperactive person who can't finish anything. So I decided now you have to stick to something for once in your life. Yeah, that was what I did. But I bought some new paint, and I printed some new things, and I love it because this, for example, is purple, and I was not able to do purple before. And this new one is, oh, I don't know if you can see it. It is pink.
Pink, yeah.
So I'm so excited to print and to be able to use these new things. I think I've gotten better at what I do now, but I haven't added anything specifically new. I have more plants. It keeps happening. Someone tells you, "Hey, do you want more plants? Because I know you love them." And this huge cactus just fell to the ground in my house. Do you want some? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, totally." And now I have more plants, and
It's a big family.
I don't know what. Yeah.
And I remember last time you said you were planning or you were thinking, like imaginating a calendar with your printing. Did you get the chance to do it?
Oh God, I don't know if I will be able to do that this year.
Okay.
Because as I'm looking for a job, I want a 20 hours a week job. If I can get it, that'll be great. And now I will have the time to be able to finish all of this. I was going for fictional characters, like the one I showed you in pink, like Melusina, and I'm looking for different cultures. I watched the movie with a friend in a marathon that was called Kadisha. And that is from the French kind of folklore. And I want to make that character next, and also make something from, the Mexica culture, go back to that. And I will just keep making them, and hopefully it works out this year.
Hopefully. Let's see if we have a 2024 calendar.
I'm thinking 2025.
Okay, let's keep it hopeful. But yeah. And now, Karen, what about you? Anything new? Something you came back? You mentioned you're still studying Italian. How's it going? Are you getting better?
Well, I am in the middle of it because back then I was like just starting and like getting into the language, but right now I think it's like more official. So I have like a private tutor, so it's better. It's going better now, and I think that I am getting to know better the culture in general and the language. So it's really interesting. It's a really interesting language. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting to understand it sometimes because it's very similar to Spanish. And the grammar rules and everything, it's like, this is not like English. So, you speak English every day from morning to night, and then the weekend she starts talking to me in Italian, and it's like, what?
Your brain like short circuits.
Yeah, it's very tricky. And I am actually going back a little bit to German. I studied German in university for a while, and one of my friends, she's actually a German teacher nowadays, and I am like having some conversations with her just to remember a little bit of it and improving again this and that. But it's not something like so official. I mean, like we are just getting into that.
I think you're doing great. Can you hold a conversation in Italian right now?
I'm not so sure. I mean, probably I could like introduce myself and talk a little bit like, oh, yes, I have a dog. His name is Ricardo. But it's like just probably going up to that. And then I get a little bit lost because it has happened. You know what the funniest thing is? And this also happened to me several times with German. The teacher started talking to me and I understand, but I immediately answered in English. So the teacher gets angry, but this time my teacher is very patient, so she doesn't get angry too much. She's like, okay, you are an English teacher, it's fine. Just remember we are talking in Italian. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, like
If it was a French class, you would get kicked out. I'm only saying.
I tried it several times with me, and it's never worked for me. It's like, nope.
Yeah, because guys, if you didn't know, Karen speaks Spanish, English, German, Korean, and Italian. So that's a lot in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to go back to something that Maripaz said some minutes ago. Like when you were like talking to yourself, like, oh, you have to settle on something. There is this phrase in English that says, Jack of all trades, master of none. Have you heard this one before? Yeah, Karen says, yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about this phrase? Do you consider yourself a jack of all trades?
Um, Probably. I feel that it's all connected. It's all connected. Like I can give you some examples. I've created some Lena prints that have to do with nature, and I made them only because we were having kind of a get together to swap our plants. And now I'm able to sell them. But I believe I could only get to that point because I love plants. And I see nature as something so beautiful that you could only create some. Sorry, you could be there creating art inspired by nature, and you could spend the rest of your life doing it. You would never finish. And I don't know, I love plants so much. I started dealing in dehydrating food, like food conservation and all that type of thing. And that's kind of something new. So I can show you a little bit as
Please
well.
do. Yes.
So these are some tomatoes.
Oh, yummy.
These are dehydrated tomatoes, and you can keep them like this for ages. They are in oil. And they have some rosemary as well. And I think if you explore something, it will take you somewhere new. And if you focus on only one thing, if you like, it's a trend nowadays that you only focus on something, you are specializing so much that you can't see the solution to some problems, which might be very obvious if your mind was more open, I think. Yes, I feel you are more creative if you do more things, and you're definitely become more flexible yourself. And also I think your mind becomes more flexible if you learn more and see that everything can be connected. And I don't know.
Yeah, and I also I like that part of these activities help you see things in a different light, maybe. So I never thought about that before. So that's really cool. And I bet those tomatoes taste amazing in a sandwich.
Oh, they are really good. Well, I usually make pasta with them, but you can use it for a lot of things.
I want some. Now I'm kind of hungry. But let's not forget about Karen. How do you feel about this phrase, Jack of all trades, master of none?
Well, I have to agree with Maripaz in this one, actually. And I think I've been agreeing with her all along. The deal is,
We're connected.
yeah, we are connected, The deal is that I think if you only focus on one thing forever, it's not, as I was telling you earlier, now it's not challenging at all. And also, it's like you only see that for the rest of your life, and then what? I mean, you should really try different things and see if you like other things or not. Because if you only do one thing and that's it, maybe there is another thing that you would like, but you don't know if you don't try it, So, for example, personally speaking, I was really afraid of learning a different, like a different language that is not related to the Germanic line. You know, for example, with Italian, because I had tried French and it didn't work. So it was like, no, I don't think it's ever going to work with me for that line. But then I saw the Italian was like getting into it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like it. I'm going to give it a try. So I tried it out. Now I like it a lot. So I want to go to Italy now. You see? So I think it's really good, like, to try different things and to see how it goes. I mean, you never know. You could find something new or a new profession even.
I have some rapid fire questions. So these are questions that have like a one-word answer. It's very short. And I just want to know, what do you think about? And maybe if you are really, really connected, like you said, or if you differ in some things. So first question, whoever wants to answer first. Indoors or outdoors activities?
I would prefer indoors, to be honest.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I love being outside and riding my bike, and I don't know. But at night, like I like to be at home doing my thing, and you can concentrate only indoors, I think.
We're seeing a rift here between your mental connection. But let's see. Second question. Hobbies for your body, your mind, or your soul?
Oh, well, I would say definitely for my soul. Yeah, I prefer this.
And also I feel for my soul. Yes.
They were doing back together again. Next one. Alone time or creating community?
It's good to be in both of them, so
okay, that's valid.
I'm pretty in the middle of it because I can be in both ways and I really enjoy both of them. So yeah, I think.
Oh, definitely creating community. Yes. Because if you're I think if you're alone with your thoughts for a long time, you will just go crazy. Yes, you need some feedback.
That's kind of, yeah.
Okay, and this is the final question. I think this one's a bit tough, but let's see. Do you choose the hobby, or does the hobby choose you? Choose you. What do you think?
Huh.
Yeah. You got us thinking here.
Yeah,
I know. That was the point.
I personally think because of the things that I have experienced, I think that you choose it. Okay. Because you take the decision of trying it out. And I mean, the activity is out there. It's out there for everyone to reach it. So anyone could really go and try it out, but not everyone does it, you know? So in the end, it's something that you decide on doing. For example, when I decided doing ballet for some time, many of my classmates were there because they already chose to do it. It's like, you know, it's out there for everybody, but not everyone chooses to do it. So I think you choose to do it. That's what
I see disagreeing with that one.
Oh my god! Okay, tell us why.
I kind of disagree on that one. I feel that if something is meant to happen to you, it will kind of follow you, and you will be like, but I don't want to do this. So it happened to me with the piñatas, where a friend needed a piñata, but she was asking around on the internet with very short notice, and I said, okay, I will make you a piñata. And then with this teacher who helped me to make the cartoneria, this type of thing, I remember that I wanted to do something very simple, like very graphic drawing, something like that. And he said, but have you ever tried, making these figures with paper? And I was like, yeah, I guess we can try again. And it finally gets to you, and it's weird how it works.
The universe works in mysterious ways. Okay, so you're not as similar as we thought you were, girls. But, I mean, that's also good. Like we said before, trying out different things is a good thing. And, well, we have reached the end of our session today. I want to thank you both for being here again, for sharing with us. Please keep developing your art, improving your skills, and maybe we'll see each other again. Anything you would like to say before we leave?
Just to keep trying new things and learn new things. It always helps, and it would make your life nicer, I think.
Definitely. Thank you.
I would say the same thing. Yes. Keep trying new things and don't get self-conscious. Don't feel, oh, but I'm too old to do this, but I am too young to do this. Or, no, you might be great. Just try new activities and find what you love.
Yeah, you can enjoy grandma hobbies at your 20-somethings. It's completely fine, you know. Well, thank you very much, Karen, Maripaz, for being here. I hope to see you soon. Everybody, thank you for being here. We're looking forward to seeing your comments. And have a great night. Bye.